Ladies and bros, Andy here, author of the best Tinder guide on the internet, and guy who had to record this fucking intro 7 times because he fucked it up 7 times. This is the Kill You're in a Loser show. Let's fucking go. We're going to talk a little bit about some of my gym progress lately because I want to give you guys a little bit of a, motivational message, and we're also going to answer some of your questions on a previous video that I did. But I wanted to talk a little bit and be a bit vulnerable or a bit real with you guys with my sort of gym progress over the last maybe year or so. And I'll talk a little bit about before that as well. But in the last year especially, I feel like I've finally gotten my shit together and I'm finally starting to make some fucking progress because I've paid for a coach. He's been kicking my ass into gear. And this is very, very, very meaningful to me. This is something that I've wanted for years and years, but I've always, for a million different reasons, not pushed myself. I've given up. I've been complacent. I've, quit because I didn't think that I deserved to be, decent looking. So we'll jump in and I'll show you some sort of before pictures so you can sort of see where my progress is going. So this is from about a year ago. This is me on camera. If you look at my fucking arms, I can show you the mouse. Look at this fucking little skinny arm. Look at this beautiful little fucking tiny arm over here. And, compare that to now. Like, I'm starting to make some progress, especially if I flex. We're starting to see a difference. And here's one where I was kind of flexing because I'm, drinking a glass. There's a difference. There's clearly a fucking difference. And this is really fucking... It means a lot to me. I've started getting some, feedback from some of you. I've been getting feedback from my girlfriend. Some of my friends have said, like, hey, dude, like, you look like you're actually putting on some muscle. I've been going to the gym 5 days a fucking week, doing a bodybuilding routine, really grinding. I'm in there for about 2 hours every day. I've got an amazing coach. I'll talk about him in a second. But, this is something that I for the longest time, didn't think that I deserved. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit in a second, but I'll show you some more before pictures as well. This was me before I lost all my weight. So this is me as a big fat fuck. Look at that. Look at that fatty little fucking face. Look at that. Look at that chubby little boy. Look at that fucking fat man. I mean, we laugh, but I was like super fucking depressed back then. That fat boy. This was me like when I was, like 20 or something, maybe 25, 23. I don't know. See, I was just a fucking chubby little boy. This is me almost at my heaviest, so I would have been about 100 kilograms. I'm about 6'2", 6'1", 6'2". So this is 100 kilograms with like no fucking muscle. So a lot fatter than if I'd had, I would have been even heavier if I had muscle. And this was me when I lost all the weight, but I was still like ultra fucking skinny. What a long, skinny little man. So, point here is that there's some progress happening, right, guys? Like, we're seeing some actual progress, and it's really fucking meaningful to me. It really genuinely is. Like, especially during 2020 and 2021, I felt like before that, had started making some progress, right? I'd started hitting the gym. I got reasonably strong. My deadlift was 175 kilograms, and that's me as a lanky, long boy. I got pretty decent at bench press as well. I can't remember what my max was. I think it was like 100 and something, which for me with I got really fucking long arms. That was like decent when I started out, not even being able to do a push-up. Like, I literally couldn't do a push-up when I started. So I was making progress. But with all the shit that happened in 2020 and 2021, all the lockdowns, all my gyms were closed. I became an alcoholic with all the lockdowns and shit like that. I got pretty fat. And I basically didn't work out for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And so being able to make this sort of progress now, I feel like it was the final frontier for me. So, those of you who know me know that I got laid a lot, still get laid, had plenty of threesomes, done all that cool shit. I'm at a point where I pay the bills from coaching. So I feel like, I have financial goals, of course, but I feel like the money stuff is like coming along nicely. I proved to myself I can make money. I proved to myself I can get laid. I proved to myself I could have friends. I proved to myself I could help people. I proved to myself I could overcome depression and suicidal thoughts and all of that shit. I proved that I could become a more confident, stoic person instead of a neurotic mess. But the one thing that was left that I hadn't proven is that I could have a decent body, even just an okay average body. I always had a shit body. I was either fat or I was skinny, and there was no like point where I had any muscle. Or sorry, there was a point where I had a bit of muscle, but I lost it with 2020 and 2021. And I've had all these doubts my entire life, even with everything else I've achieved. And I've been reasonably transparent with that, but I don't think I've ever sat down and just done a video about my doubts and insecurities around the gym. And I think it stems from, in childhood where I was bullied and I was the skinny, fat kind of loser and I was always weak. I was decent at sports that didn't require strength, but I was hopeless at any sports that required strength or physical ability. I felt like I didn't have the right to be strong. I didn't have the right to not be weak and pathetic. I didn't have the right to even step foot in the gym. And I remember the first time I ever went to the gym, I literally had to get a friend to go with me because I was like, bro, I can't go. Like, I literally can't go, bro. Like, can you please come with me? Because I don't feel like I can go to the gym by myself. And, he took me, he showed me all the equipment. I just felt so fucking out of place. I really didn't feel like, and I've never really felt like I had the right to look good. Now, I've improved my style. I've improved my grooming. I have lost weight. I regained it over 2020 and 2021, but I never felt like I deserved to be anything more than slightly above average. Like I never felt like I deserved to max myself out or even get halfway to maxed out in terms of looks. Even in the early days on the GLL forums, so some of you know me from the old GLL forums, it was basically the forum that I was on to improve myself and get my shit together and get laid and all that. I felt like such a loser there. I really did. Like, so many of the other guys looked better than me, were more confident than me, were cooler than me, but we'll just talk about the looks shit. And I thought, these guys all look amazing. I don't deserve to be here. I'm a fucking skinny fat loser. Like, I shouldn't be here. They're all going to the gym, they're all ripped, they're all muscular, they're all cool, they're all stylish. I honestly thought they were going to kick me off the forums. Even when I got to a point where I was getting laid like once every 2 weeks or so, like a new girl every 2 weeks or so, I was like, I'm going to get kicked off here. Even when I got to the point that I was doing really cool shit, like fucking like 3 girls in a day, like I literally still thought, I'm going to get kicked off here. I'm not good enough to be here. Which is why I relate to so many of you who are the underdogs. It's why I will stand up for and defend anyone who feels like I don't deserve to be here. I'm not good enough. I'm not cool enough. I can't be jacked. I can't make a lot of money. I can't get laid. I defend that shit so fucking hard because that's been me my whole life, especially with my body, It's why I push you guys with, concepts like giving yourself permission to suck, because I sucked and I still made it. I don't want any of you to sort of sit there and feel like I'm not good enough, or I don't deserve to be in the gym, or I don't deserve to make a lot of money. I don't deserve to get laid. That was me, guys. And I want to make it clear that this hasn't been an easy fucking journey at any point, but especially not with my body, especially not with gym progress, especially not with losing weight, none of that shit. If I can really get something across to you, it's that I really haven't felt like I deserve to go to the gym. Not until maybe the last maybe 2 months. It's only been in the last 2 months that I've been in there enough times and I have worked out enough and I'm starting to see some actual progress that I've started feeling like I have these moments where I'm like, oh, the gym is my home. I deserve to be here. I like it in here. It's literally only the last 2 months that I've been able to relax in the gym. The whole time before, I would have these paranoid thoughts or these insecure thoughts of oh, I bet everyone thinks I'm a loser. I bet everyone's looking at me. Obviously, no one's I know logically no one is looking at me, just like you guys know no one is looking at you. But it's this sort of feeling of there's and it's projection. It comes from me, but it's this feeling of man, these other people are so cool and I'm not, and I bet they don't want me in here. It's no, they want me in here. I'm the one that doesn't want me in here. I'm the one that's judging me, not them. But, I really want to get across to you guys that you don't have to be perfect with your mindset. You don't have to be perfect with your body. You will eventually make it if you just don't quit. All of the goals that I've worked on, all of the goals I have achieved, I didn't feel like I deserved them. I didn't even feel like I had the right to be working on them. The whole time I felt like an imposter, or I shouldn't be doing this, or this is for cool people, not for me, or this is for ballers and players and this isn't me. But despite those feelings, I just haven't quit. And that's why I've made it. That's why I've done the cool shit. I've said this to so many people before. I've said this to coaching clients and shit. I've said, in those moments where you feel doubt, remember that I felt doubt too. In those moments where you feel like you didn't deserve to be here, I didn't deserve to be here either. I felt like I didn't. And the best way I've ever been able to phrase it is my whole life, as in after I started, so the last 6 years of my life, have felt like I snuck in to a VIP backstage area, but I wasn't supposed to be there. But I snuck in. And like nobody realized that I snuck in. Like I'm not cool. I wasn't born confident. I didn't have any fucking friends. I was suicidal and depressed for so many years. I had no fucking clue how to talk to women. I was poor my entire life. I didn't think I deserved to make money. I was skinny fat my whole life. And then somehow I just snuck by and went into the VIP backstage area, at like a fucking concert or something. I snuck into the backstage area and just nobody kicked me out. And that's how I felt the entire time. I don't feel like that as much now, but man, for the first like 3 or 4 years, I felt like, man, I shouldn't be here, but like, I'm going to just shut my mouth and work hard as hard as I possibly can and earn my right to be here, earn this spot, earn this privilege almost. And hopefully no one kicks me out. And I think you guys know logically, no one's going to kick you out. I'm never going to say to anyone like, yo, hey, you can't join my coaching program because you're a loser, or get off my forums because you're not good enough, or stop watching my videos because you don't deserve to be here. No one's ever going to fucking say that. If you're even trying, you deserve to be here. If you're even contemplating trying, you deserve to be here. I would like you to actually try, not just think about it. But if you're even just thinking, okay, I'm going to work up the courage to start trying, you deserve to be here. And I really want to drill that point in again. You don't have to be perfect with this shit. As long as you don't fucking quit, you'll make it. The only reason I have made it this far is because I didn't quit. If I'd quit, like, what the fuck? Look at all the shit I would have given up. All the crazy shit, the threesomes, the foursomes, the cool shit like having girls on my podcast, all the money I've made. Not that I've made a fuck ton, but we're getting there. The 1,400 people on my forums at this point, this audience, I know it's the early days, but, we already have 2,000 of you fuckers. Like, this is cool. And then there's like another freaking 1,500 on my Spotify podcast and shit. Like, we're starting to really make some waves, guys. And imagine if I'd quit. Those of you who've made it far already, imagine if you'd quit. And so those of you who are still in the early stages, or you're in the stages of thinking, I don't deserve this, I'm not good enough, this can't be me, please don't fucking quit. Like, if I had to quit, my God, like, what a beautiful life I would have given up. I hate the idea of any of you sort of thinking, I don't deserve to be here. Please don't fucking quit. So I guess I can talk a little bit about my coach, because I do want to shout out my coach. I will make it clear that the progress I've made in the last like year, because like most of this is from, most of being lean and adding a bit of muscle is probably from the last year, or the last like maybe like 9 months. And yes, I have worked very hard and I've been very consistent, but like, I don't fucking think I could have done it without my coach. Like, my coach's name is Josh. He's an absolute fucking legend. And as hard as I've worked, I don't think I would have been able to do it with him. I fucked around for years in the gym. I just never listened. I had a coach before and I just never listened to him because I didn't believe I had the right to get big. And so I was self-sabotaging and just like not doing the things I needed to do. And with this guy, I told him my full backstory. I told him that. I said, I've worked out for years on and off, but I've never been consistent. I've never gone to the gym more than like 2 weeks in a row without skipping workouts and just going like, fuck, I can't do this. Like, I've never bulked and cut properly. So when I've cut, I've just gone all out and just cut on like 1,000 calories, which is basically starvation. And then when I bulked, I would bulk on like 5,000, 6,000 calories, like, which is just insane. Like, anyone who actually knows how to gain muscle, any of you listening would say like, bro, what the fuck? You're not going to make progress if you cut on 1,000 calories and then bulk on 6,000 calories. Like, you're just going to get fat, then skinny, then fat, then skinny. And yeah, that's what I did for like 3 years or so. So I told Josh, my current coach, all of this shit. I said like, I'll be honest with you, I don't think I deserve to be big. I'll be honest with you, I have seen your testimonials. I trust you. You look legit, but I have all these doubts in my head that say that I'm the exception, that I won't be able to do this. I know logically that's not true, but I'm telling you this so that you know what you're working with. I said there will be many times I will want to lie to you and like pretend that I went to a workout. And I'll be honest, I did lie to him a lot in the early stages, like in the first couple of months. I would just say like, yeah, I went to the gym, and I would like fake my workouts and shit, because he has a little app to check if you're actually going. And I just faked the workouts, and I'd fake what I was eating. And then at some point I said to him like, hey, I'm not being like strict with all of this. I'm not doing what you said. And so we kind of, fixed it, and I've been consistent. But, I told him right from the start, I don't think I deserve this shit. And he has been an absolute fucking god at talking through my mindset with me and saying, hey, everyone feels like that. That's okay. Like, it might take us 3 years. It might take us 5 years. I don't know. But at some point you'll look like a god. I promise you. And that will just happen by slow consistency. He embodies all of the philosophies that I teach you guys. Like, give yourself permission to suck. It's okay to suck at the start. Take it one day at a time, which is me saying like the slight edge, or take a baby step every day, all that kind of stuff. And we're just aiming for gradual improvements rather than, okay, in 3 months, I want to be huge. It's like, no, it's like a slow progression. As long as you keep doing the things, this is a lifelong thing. Going to the gym, working on your body, liking your appearance is a lifelong thing. We'll keep working on it. Eventually you get there, I promise. Just don't quit. His philosophy is very much just don't quit. And so I gelled with him right from the start. And, it's been so fucking amazing being able to talk to him like every week or every second week. I get to talk to him basically whenever I want. And it's been really good just being able to sit down. And we've even caught up in person a couple of times. We live in the same city, so we've had coffee a few times. And just being able to have someone that goes like, yeah, I understand that you feel all those doubts, but like, you're not special. The same shit that I tell my coaching clients, sometimes you need to hear it from someone else. You need to hear someone saying, you're not special, bro. Like, I know you feel like you can't change, but like, that's what every other and that's what he said to me. He's like, every other coaching client tells me like, I can't change, I'm special. And then I make them fucking change. The same shit I tell my coaching clients. You guys have no idea how many times someone will come to me and say, I'm a virgin and I'm 30 and I can't get laid, or I'm short, or I'm Indian, or my parents didn't love me enough, or I was in a fucking domestic violence situation for the first 20 years of my life, and that's why. Like, they'll have all these reasons, and I empathize and I understand the reasons, but everybody can change. It's the first freaking thing I tell my clients. I'm like, yo, you're going to change. You're not special. It's almost arrogant to think that you're special. And I knew that I was being arrogant by saying I can't change, but it was more like a self-sabotage thing. It was more that I think in hindsight, I just wasn't applying myself, or I didn't fully go all in. And since working with my coach, Josh, yeah, I absolutely go all in. And in case this isn't clear, this isn't a fucking pitch for him. I don't get a kickback or something for talking about him. If any of you do want to work with him, I've put a couple of my coaching clients onto him, actually. I think I've sent like 5 people to him that have started working. I'll leave a link in the description below to his website. Like, if you want to work with him, do it. If you don't, but I think this is more just I want to tell him I'm fucking grateful. I don't think I would have gotten this far. I definitely wouldn't have gotten this far. I wouldn't feel this like confident in the plan if it wasn't for him. I think that's another thing that I haven't even said that he does that's amazing, is he has a plan. And I never really had a plan before. It was more just like, I'm going to go to the gym. And then when it gets hard, it's like, oh, okay, I can't be bothered going. There was no like driving force. Whereas now it's like, okay, on May 30th, you're going to have finished your cut. Then for the next 4 months, we're going to slowly bulk. Then you're going to do this. Then you get like, there's a fucking clear plan. And I think when you have those sort of deadlines or that plan, this shit is way easier. It's why, in my own coaching program, so when I first used to coach people, it was just like, you could pay me and we'd just do like weekly calls. And so there was never really like a mission, if that makes sense. It was more just like almost like counseling. It's the same sort of issue I take with counselors or psychologists and that. It's just like, come and see me and keep paying me weekly for like forever or for as long as we want. There's no like mission, or there's no like, okay, in 3 months from now, we got to fix this. Like, you don't go to a counselor. Doctors are the same. You don't go to a doctor or a counselor or a psychologist and say, okay, 6 months from now, I want to be able to completely give up my panic attacks, or, 3 months from now, I want to have given up all of my anxiety or most of it, or like, 4 months from now, I want you to get me a promotion at work and you're going to help me with that. Like, no, it doesn't. They always do it like a weekly fucking thing. And the problem with that, like I said, is you don't have a mission. There's no drive. There's no impetus. There's no like pressure. And I mean positive pressure to change. And so I think one of the smartest things I ever did, and I can't take credit for it, it was like all the people that I watched, Dan Henry on YouTube, Alex Hormozi, Alex Becker, like all those kind of like entrepreneur or like coaching experts kept saying, have a fucking program. Like, have a 12-week program, like, put a cap on it. Like, basically, they're paying you for a package, and you get that done in a certain amount of time. Man, the amount of fucking pressure you have knowing you only have 12 weeks, you can't fuck around. It's like the results happen 10 times more. So, again, I will leave a link to Josh's website and his coaching. Check it out if you want to. Don't if you don't. I don't get paid. He's not giving me anything, but the guy has like genuinely fucking changed my life, and like I really, really, really am grateful. If you guys are interested in it, I might do a like a live stream with him. He's willing to come on camera, and obviously he would shout out his business, so it's worth it for him. But he would come on camera and we'd do like a live stream. So on YouTube, you guys would be able to like ask comments like live in the chat, and we would just answer all your fucking questions, or he would answer all your fucking questions about nutrition, bodybuilding, starting out, workouts, all that kind of shit. Let me know if you guys want that. I probably will do that with him. He's very keen to do that. He offered me, actually. He's like, yo, I can come talk to you guys if you want about this shit. So yeah, we'll probably do that. So enough about fucking gym, other than to say I feel blessed. I feel happy. I feel like I'm genuinely starting to get in a decent place with my gym, which is such a mind-blowing thing for me. Someone who, for my whole fucking life, thought I was supposed to be weak. I thought I was supposed to be pathetic. I didn't think I was meant to make it even this far, let alone start making progress in the gym. And so again, I really want to drill it into you. I know there's a lot of you who are sort of like nerds. I'm a big fucking nerd. I'm a dirty fucking nerd. I mean, check this shit out. You want to see how much of a fucking nerd I am? This is just a YouTube video I'm watching. Have a look at the recommended videos that get recommended to me. Linus Tech Tips, Linus Tech Tips, Linus Tech Tips, Linus fucking... This cunt does video essays. Code Bullet, which is just some guy who does like coding. Linus Tech Tips, Linus Tech Tips, Linus... Why is there so much Linus Tech Tips today, actually? I don't know. But, the point is, I'm a big fucking dirty nerd. You guys are big fucking dirty nerds. And I think nerds tend to be the guys who think I'm not good enough to be in the gym, or I can't be a player, or I can't look amazing, or I can't get laid a lot. And that fundamentally absolutely is not true. Like, there's no reason you can't max yourself out in a bunch of different areas. There's no reason you can't be a big, dirty, fucking fat nerd and have women love you and play chess in your fucking free time and show women like, oh, do you want to fucking play Dota with me? Do you want to fucking play, I don't know, what else do you nerds play? StarCraft with me? God, that's an old fucking game. There's no reason you can't do that and get laid and build a decent body or a great body, make a ton of fucking friends, be a social animal. These are all just skills. And if you're a nerd like I was, the good news is, all right, take a step back. Nerds, we tend to think, or at least at the start, we tend to think, okay, I'm not cool enough to get laid a lot, or I'm not muscular enough to get laid a lot, or I'm not cool enough to get, I'm not jockey enough to go to the gym. Guys, if you're a nerd, you are the perfect fucking person to get laid a lot. You are the perfect person to add a lot of muscle. Bear with me. Why am I saying this? Because you're a fucking nerd. Because you will sit there and research shit for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and obviously don't do nothing but research, but you will research for hours when other people will just go like, oh, I'm content to never know the answer to this question. You guys will sit there and autistically figure out step by step, just like I have, how do I get laid? Literally give me the fucking step. Why do you think my Tinder guide is 130,000 fucking words? Because I'm an autistic fucking nerd. And I broke it down. I was like, step by step, how do I get sex? Literally step by step, how do I get sex? I went step by step, let me get some fucking sexual intercourse, everything I need to do to improve myself. How do I even message the girls? I tried like millions of fucking times, millions of different ways to message girls until I figured it out. How do I be decent on a date? I tried a million different things. I was fucking researching to shit. I had spreadsheets and I saved documents and everything. I broke that down and figured it out. How do I have sex? How do I get good at sex? I have no idea what I'm doing with sex. Let me read a million different manuals on BDSM and kinky sex and foreplay and all this and get amazing at sex. Okay, how do I keep the girls around after that? How do I make them want to keep seeing me? How do I be a cool person that they'd want to keep seeing? I broke that down step by step. I've put all this in my fucking guide. I mean, fuck, like even this goddamn thing. This goddamn book. How to have a fucking threesome. Anyone who's just like a jock or a player or a natural will just be like, bro, just have a threesome. This thing is fucking 193 pages because I'm like, I need to autistically break down how to have a fucking threesome. Like step by step, word by word, tell me everything I need to do. And that is your guys' superpower. If you're a dirty nerd like I am, your superpower is that you are overly analytical, and I mean that in a good way. You are ridiculously observant. You're probably fucking autistic like I am. You will sit there and go, from step 1 to step 5 million, how do I get laid? From step 1 to step 5 million, how do I make money? From step 1 to 5 million, how do I get decent at the gym? Let me be the biggest fucking autistic nerd and research all of this and try it and learn and make it almost an experiment. Like I'm using the scientific method on my own body and my gym workout. Let me figure out how to get good in the gym. Let me figure out how to get good with women. You guys are in the prime, beautiful position to get good at all this shit like I have. I didn't get here because I'm a natural. I'm the opposite of a natural. I am a fucking autistic nerd. And I've gotten here by just going, let me figure all this out. Let me research. Let me learn. Let me just try everything. And through the scientific method, there's a reason my biggest article or my favorite article is this is all just a big experiment. The point of that article was me saying this is all just the scientific method. Just try a bunch of different shit, see what works. If it does, cool, keep doing it. If it doesn't, stop, try something else. You know, you autistic fucking nerds like me, guys, are in the best position to get good with all this shit. So please don't think, oh, I'm not a jock, so I can't go to the gym. Or I'm not a sporty person, so I can't go to the gym. Or I'm a software engineer or a data scientist or any of this shit, or an analyst. I'm a software engineer. I'm a network admin. I can't do any of this shit. God damn it. Like 90% of my fucking coaching clients are autistic, like software. And I swear to God, data science is like 20% of my audience, like, or 20% of my coaching clients. Like 60% are just software engineers. Like another 10% are like network admins or something like that. Fucking crypto experts. And then maybe, I don't fucking know, 10% of my audience or 10% of my coaching clients are guys who are just like normal jobs. It's probably less than that. It's probably 5%. The vast majority of my audience, and the vast majority of my coaching clients, you're all autistic nerds because, hey, that just seems to be the best fucking, you guys seem to have the best chance at getting good at all this shit because you're overly analytical, super observant, all that shit I talked about before. So please don't think that you can't get good in the gym or get laid or make money or improve yourself or have friends or be social just because you're a bit of a nerd. It's like, no, dude, you're in the best position to be doing this shit. All right, let's move on to this video I did. So this video is called, You Must Confront Your Demons to Be Successful, Mirror Therapy. And it was a podcast I did with a guy called Zach, who was an old coaching client of mine. I think is he a software engineer? I can't remember. He runs his own business. I can't remember. Whatever. Like, I can't remember. Probably a big fucking dirty nerd. He's a hippie and a nerd like me. And in this video, it was around about the 40-minute mark, roughly around the 40-minute mark. We talked about mirror therapy. And mirror therapy is a therapy that I give most of my clients. And in that video, we talked about it. So I'll leave a link in the description below to this video that I'm talking about. We talked about like why I recommend mirror therapy. And if you don't know what it is, it's basically you look into your own fucking eyes in the mirror and you just sort of sit there for a little bit or stand there for a little bit looking into your own eyes. And then you say, I love you. And for a lot of people that I give this to, it's fucking confronting. They either can't do it or they will make a bullshit, okay, not a bullshit. They will make an excuse like, oh, that's gay, bro. Bro, that's like some pussy shit. I'm not going to say I love you, bro. That's like gay. I'm not gay, bro. Or they'll say like, bro, that's some like feminine, womanly shit, bro. I don't need to love myself. In fact, I need to do the opposite and yell at myself and push myself and go hard on myself and be a fucking alpha male, bro. I don't have time for this fucking love you shit, bro. I'm a fucking stoic alpha male, bro. I don't have time for that. And all this shit sort of comes up. And the people that do go through with it and actually try, some of them succeed, some don't. But the ones who actually do go through, fuck, the shit that comes up is incredible. Like some people I've gotten some coaching clients to do it and they'll look into their own eyes and then they'll say like, I love you. And then just all these other fucking thoughts will come in. They'll be like, why? You're not lovable. You're an ugly piece of shit. You're disgusting. Fuck you. Why would I love you? You're scum. You don't deserve this. Women hate you. I hate you. Fuck you. I hate you. So much of that shit comes up and that's fucking beautiful because that is shit that would never otherwise come up, like ever. Most people go their entire lives without diving deep into the shadow of their own soul. Like they never have a moment where they sit down and go, do I actually like myself? Or do I fucking hate who I am? Like what shit is unresolved inside me? And so if you haven't already done it, all of you listening, go and do this exercise. Literally go into the mirror, into the bathroom or whatever, look into your own eyes for like 5 or 10 seconds and then just say, I love you. And it doesn't matter if you don't feel it. It doesn't matter if you don't mean it. Just see what comes up. Other people, when they do this, nice shit comes up. And we're going to talk about that in a second because we'll read out like a couple of comments that people left on the previous video, people who tried this. But they'll say, I love you. And then these thoughts of like, holy fuck, I do kind of love myself. Like, I'm okay. I'm not perfect. I'm not maxed out. I have all this other shit I want to work on. I'm far from my goals, all of this. Maybe I don't have enough muscle. Maybe I'm poor. Maybe I don't get laid. Maybe I'm a virgin. But like, being me isn't that bad. Like, maybe I even like myself. And I'll make it clear, this is a suggestion that someone else gave me. If you're struggling to do this, like if you're struggling to look into your own eyes and say, I love you, you can start small. So you can say, I'm okay. Or like, you're okay. You're okay, kid. You can look into your own eyes and just say, you're okay, kid. And then from there, maybe the next day you try saying like, you know what, I'm not that bad. Try saying that. The next day say, I'm decent. Just looking into your own eyes, I'm decent. Maybe after that, the next day you say, I like you. And just see what happens. Process all of that, work through all of that. And then eventually you work up to, I like being me. And then you say, I love being me. And then you can say, I love you. And that's the final one. I love you. That's like the final boss that you want to work up to. And so, regardless of what comes up, that is the shit that you guys need to work on. That's the like unresolved shit that is stopping you from hitting your max potential. And the reason I say it's stopping you is because if you're walking around thinking, I'm a piece of shit, even if you're not consciously thinking it, that's why this exercise is great, because it brings up the shit you didn't even know you felt about yourself, or you didn't even know was in your brain. It's in your like subconscious. It's never going to come up. It's never going to come up unless you look in the mirror and say, I love you, or try and say, I love you. And then all the shit comes up. If you don't resolve all that shit, or if you're just walking around kind of hating yourself, what happens is you will hold back from going fully all in, like I have with the gym, because you won't feel like you deserve that. Or you will be too hard on yourself in a moment where you need to be kind to yourself. And let's take a slight tangent here for half a second. A lot of people will sort of resist this concept of like being kind to yourself or being nice to yourself. And they'll say, that's gay, that's feminine, or they'll say, I won't get as much done if I'm kind to myself. The reason I get so much shit done is because I'm so brutally hard on myself. And what I will give you guys, first of all, like I've worked with so many fucking people at this point. You are so fundamentally, utterly, completely wrong if you think that anger and pain and stress and yelling at yourself gets you more results than being kind to yourself. Like, you're just stupid. Okay. Bad word. You're ignorant. You are completely and utterly wrong. You could not be more wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. You have a sample size of 1. And if you've never tried for a reasonably long amount of time, for like a month or two, being kind to yourself and then seeing what results you get, well, you're just being emotional. You're just saying like, oh, me angry, I get more done. Like, you don't fucking know. You have a sample size of 1, technically a sample size of 0, because you've never tried being kind to yourself. You've never tried being patient with yourself. You've never tried coming from a place of like acceptance and love. And I think people, even when they hear the word acceptance, they think of it from that kind of feminine point of view, or it's often said in a feminine point of view of like, you got to accept yourself and love yourself as you are. It's like, no, like, yes, but no. Accept that you are who you are right now, and that's not going to change in this moment. And so what's the point of being unhappy with yourself in this moment? Accept that right now as you are, you're okay. But in future, you're going to be 50,000 billion trillion times better. So you can pine for a better future, or you can want something better in the future. Just don't sit there and say, so therefore I'm a piece of shit and I need to beat myself up and punish myself and go harder and yell at myself in anger. What I will tell you guys is, if you don't like someone, I want you to think about someone you don't like. Maybe a boss. If any of you have had a boss that you don't particularly like, think about your boss that you don't like. Your boss comes to you and he says, hey, I need you to do this project by Friday. Or I need you to do this task for me. Or I need you to do this or that for me. Or maybe you work a job and a customer is a dick to you and you don't like them. You really hate them. Or you at least just dislike them. You're feeling anger towards them. And they say, I want you to do this thing for me. So boss or a customer you don't like says, hey, do this thing for me. What do? You get it done because it's your job. But are you enthusiastic about that task? Do you bust your ass to get it done as quick as possible? Do you go above and beyond and do things they didn't ask for? Do you do extra work for them and go like, man, I just want to do so much for my boss, or man, I want to help this customer out and give them the best, most beautiful experience of all time? No. What you do is you do the bare minimum. You usually do it resentfully. You're not having a good fucking vibe while you do it. You don't like doing it. You don't want to do it. You wish there was a way you could sabotage them, and sometimes you do sabotage them. You spit in their fucking I hope none of you have ever spat in someone's food. But, you don't you do the bare minimum so that they won't keep complaining or that they won't have a problem, and you just get it done and go, fuck off, like, get out of here. Now I want you to compare that to a customer who's nice to you, like ridiculously over the top nice, just a beautiful fucking person. They come in with a big smile and they're like, hey, how are you today? And they're just so nice to you. They go, I hope you're having a beautiful day today, because today's such a great day for me. And I just want to spread a little joy. I hope you have the best day ever. I hope your boss doesn't make you work too hard. Like, they're just a nice fucking person. Or imagine you have a boss who's just like a fucking good dude. Like, he's giving you bonuses without asking for anything. He gets in there and does the work with you. He doesn't just delegate and tell you what to do. He's right there in the trenches with you. You feel like you're on a mission with him. You're both going somewhere together. What do you do for that boss or that customer? You will go above and beyond. You will do anything you can to make them happy. You will do shit they didn't ask for. You will give them freebies if they're a customer. You will just give them your gratitude and say, that you really made me smile today. Thank you. I wish more customers were like you. Or your boss. You'll say like, boss, I'm really glad I get to work here, dude. Like, I really like working for you, man. Thank you. Like, you will go above and beyond for someone you like. Now I want you to think, we'll make this an even more visceral analogy. What do you do for people you fucking hate? Like, you fucking hate them. You think they're an ugly, disgusting, fucking stupid piece of shit. You think they're not good enough. You judge them. You hate them. You dislike them. You just fucking fundamentally don't like this person. What will you do for them? Nothing. Why would you ever do anything for that person? You don't like them. You don't even want to have to think about them. You hate them. Now, what would you do for someone you love? Someone you deeply love, you care about, maybe a family member, maybe a girlfriend, like a brother, a friend, one of your bros, you take a bullet for him. You would do anything for that person. Out of love, you would take a bullet for them. Out of love, you would go to the ends of the earth to make them happy. Out of hatred, you would do nothing. If you're not getting the analogy yet, if you sit there and beat yourself up and berate yourself and dislike yourself and hate yourself and think you're ugly, or even if you just don't like who you are right now, and you come from this place of like, I don't like myself, I got to fix myself. You're coming from a place of, at the minimum, dislike, and a lot of people take that to like self-hatred. Why would you ever go above and beyond the person you don't like or the person you just tolerate? Even if that's yourself, it's not any different if it's you. And so if you hate yourself or you just don't like who you are right now, you only accomplish like 1/100th of what you accomplish if I can get you to at least be okay with yourself, let alone like yourself. And if you get to a point where you fucking love yourself, and that is just something you train into yourself, if you do this thing where you say, I love you in the mirror every day, I've done this for the last like 7 months at this point. I haven't skipped a single day. If you just, it takes 10 seconds. I love you. Look in your own eyes in the mirror. If you get to a point, you basically brainwash yourself into loving yourself. Do this for a month. You'll find you just want to do shit that you weren't doing before. You'll find like, I want to go outside and talk to 20 girls. Normally it takes ever. I have to yell at myself. I have to say, stop being an ugly piece of shit. Stop just sitting at home, you lazy fucking sack of shit. Go outside. Turn the fucking Netflix off. Come on, you faggot. Go outside. And I have to like drag my ass outside. But when I like myself, or when I love myself from this brainwashing of just saying it in my own, or to my own eyes in the mirror, when I love myself, I want to go outside. I love myself and I want to share that with the women outside. I want the women to get to know me. I'm cool. Or I like myself. Or I want them to be part of this. My life is cool. Or I myself am cool. I want them to know me. I want to go outside. I want to go to the gym. I love myself, and people who love themselves go to the gym. You take care of your body. I want to take care of this vessel that I've been given. I want to take care of my mind. What you'll find, or what I find, all my coaching clients that I get to do this, when they stop hating themselves, or they stop using, the dislike of themselves as motivation, and they instead start loving themselves, or at least just liking themselves, what I find is they cut down on their self-medication. They go like, I love myself. Why would I want to smoke weed all day? I love myself. Why would I want to look at porn for the next 5 hours and jerk off and not do anything? I love myself. Why would I want to drink alcohol? That's weird. I'm not going to like, my best mate that I fucking love to bits, and he's like my bro, I'm not going to encourage him to drink alcohol and watch porn and smoke weed and do nothing and drink fucking Mountain Dew and eat Doritos and Twinkies all day. Why would I don't want him to do that, because I love him. He's my bro. I want to see him succeed. Shit, when I love myself, I don't want myself to sit there self-medicating. You have no idea, guys, how much of my self-medication that I've given up this year is due to this exercise of loving myself. Quitting alcohol. I'm like 15 months sober now. Giving up porn. I'm like, what, like 8 weeks? Okay, it's probably not that much. 7 weeks? Something like that? 6 weeks? I don't fucking know. Clean of porn, which is the longest I've ever gone in my entire fucking life. Giving up watching as much YouTube, giving up video games, giving up coffee, like all that kind of shit has been infinitely easier because I like myself. My girlfriend, Imogen, giving up her bulimia, giving up her binge eating. All of that has been, infinitely easier because she's learned to say, I fucking love myself. I'm going to take care of myself. It's very hard to binge eat and hurt yourself, which is what you're doing when you give into vices or self-medication. You're hurting yourself. The only reason, or the main reason, one of the biggest reasons you hurt yourself with self-medication is because you don't like yourself. And if you don't like yourself, you're going to punish yourself. Of course you're going to hurt yourself. Again, what would you do to someone you fucking hate? You want to self-sabotage them. You don't want to see them succeed because you hate them. They're disgusting to you. You don't want to see them succeed. And so that, above all else, is why I push you guys to do this mirror therapy, why I make my coaching clients do this, why I'm telling you guys to do this shit. Look in the mirror, brainwash yourself. Might take a month, might take a week, might take a day. It takes a fair bit of time. It took me about 2 months, a month. Just keep saying, I love you. Every day, I love you. Hey, bro, I love you. Hey, I love you. I love you. However you got to say it, doesn't fucking matter. Keep doing it. You will find you come from a better place and you get a lot more done. So let's go through just a couple of these and then we'll wrap up. This guy here, not Andy. Actually, I tell you what, I want to save this for last. I hope you guys didn't just read what's on the screen. We'll save that one for last. This guy. So this guy looked in the mirror, this guy Jake, and he said, my mirror thoughts were, sup, handsome? Why are your eyes got dark circles around them, no matter how much rest you get? How good the diet is. Anyway, you have long black hair that girls like, and a family that loves you. You got nothing to worry about. Love you, champ. So I like this one. We're starting off with a fairly nice or neutral one. He just kind of looked in the mirror, he just had some random thoughts, which you will have, which is why this therapy is so goddamn good. Very few of us actually, until we start doing this, very few of us look at ourselves in the mirror and dissociate, which is what I'm almost trying to get you guys to do here. When you look in the mirror, yes, it's you, but when you look in the mirror, it's almost like you're looking at an outsider, like someone different, someone that isn't you. And so sometimes these sort of third person thoughts will come up of oh, look at that hair you got. Oh, you got nice muscles. Oh, you're fat. Objective thoughts will come up, or they're not always objective, but third person thoughts will come up about you. So I love this guy's one. Next one. This guy here. Yeah, this is the most common thing. So he says, my first thought was, these are just words. So saying I love you is just words. It should be easy, but the moment I faced the mirror, I had a bug. I guess he means bug out. I took a look at myself and I stayed silent for 6 or 7 seconds, feeling really weird. Yeah, this is a weird exercise if you've never done it before. It's almost meant to feel weird. It's very natural if it feels weird. He says, I managed to say it, but it didn't sound sincere. It's made me laugh, and it's not that easy. Good. So the fact that he did it, fucking good balls on this guy. The fact you even did it is amazing. It'll often feel weird. You'll feel why is Andy asking me to do this dumb exercise? This is retarded. It'll feel oh, this is just words. And then you go to say it and you're fuck, why won't the words come out? I literally can't get the words out. I can't make myself say it. Sometimes you have to force it. Sometimes you'll have to do what I said before. You can just start with like, I'm decent, I'm okay, I like myself, and you can eventually work up to I love myself. Sometimes you'll stand there for like a minute not saying anything. I've had people do that. They go like, bro, I stood there for 5 minutes and I couldn't say it. When I first got Imogen to do this, she was just crying the whole time. She couldn't do it for like, she kept looking away, and I kept like I gently took her chin and like, pointed her at the mirror and said, you can say it, just say it. And it took like fucking like maybe half an hour of me doing that, continually just gently lifting her chin up and making her look into her own eyes. And then finally she did it, and she had this smile on her face, and she was like a little kid. She's like crying the whole fucking time. And since then she's gotten way better at it. So don't stress if it's weird. Don't stress if it's uncomfortable. Don't stress if like horrible thoughts come up that freak you out. Like, I'm an ugly, disgusting piece of shit. I deserve to die. Like, I've had clients where that shit comes up and it's like, okay, good. We can work on that. That's the shit you're carrying around every time you're working on a goal, every time you're trying to get laid, every time you're trying to make money. If we solve that, man, this shit will be a million times easier. You won't have those subconscious thoughts sabotaging you or holding you back or getting in your own way like I got in my own way with the gym. And as this guy said, it didn't sound sincere. If it doesn't sound sincere, don't stress. That's so fucking normal. For the first month, you're basically brainwashing yourself. So don't worry about it being sincere. Don't worry about how you say it. Don't worry if you say it too quietly. Just do it. Just trust me. Just do it. Next guy. Yep. So this is exactly what happens a lot. He said he did the look at himself in the mirror exercise. It was kind of scary, to be honest. I thought, wow, what an ugly piece of shit. How would any girl like that? It took me a good 5 seconds to say I love you, but I fucking did it. I still have shit to work on, but fuck, that was an interesting experiment. So to this guy, I'd say keep doing it. The fact that these kind of thoughts come up, like, wow, what an ugly piece of shit. How would any girl like that? That is fucking holding you back. And I'm not telling you like, oh, just stop thinking that, bro. No, that's not how you deal with negative thoughts. You need to process it. Why am I ugly? Can I do anything to change it? Am I actually ugly, or am I just being negative? How would I feel if I didn't have this thought of being ugly? How would I feel if I loved myself? Would I feel more carefree? Would I be able to try harder? Would I get laid more? Like, when you say like, how would any girl like me? Start thinking like, do girls ever sleep with guys who are my attractive level? Go research. Yes, of course they fucking do. Start thinking, can I improve my attractiveness? Start thinking like, am I being unattractive? Am I being unobjective about my attractiveness? Like, am I really that ugly, or am I just thinking that? And again, thinking these thoughts, thinking like, I'm an ugly piece of shit, how would any girl like that? That is holding you back. Because when you're out there and you talk to like 10 girls and, 3 reject you, your brain is going to go, oh, it's because I'm ugly. No wonder, like, girls wouldn't like me. And you'll go home. Or if you're talking about going to the gym, like the negative thoughts that I had in my head that stopped me from going to the gym, or I let them stop me from going to the gym all those years. If you're sitting there thinking like I did, I'm weak, I'm pathetic, I don't deserve to be here, I'm not cool, I shouldn't be in the gym. What happens? I go to the gym, I do half a workout, and I go, no, I shouldn't be here. And I go home. I don't do the full workout. Or in this guy's case, he doesn't approach the girls, or he doesn't go on Tinder, or he doesn't try and take new pictures. He doesn't improve himself because he thinks, what's the point? Subconsciously, he thinks, I'm an ugly piece of shit. Why would any girls like me? And so that is why I am pushing you guys to do this exercise, to work through this, to work through the shit that comes up. Because if you solve it, or if you let go of it, you don't have to solve it. You just have to kind of start letting go of it. If you let go of it, and I'll link to a couple of books in the description. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just show you on the screen so I don't have to fucking link to them. This book here and this book here. Whoops, I just clicked the wrong goddamn thing. So 2 books that I absolutely recommend. Letting Go, The Pathway to Surrender. This is by David Hawkins. Buy this fucking book, guys. And then the second book, fuck off. Loving What Is, 4 Questions That Can Change Your Life by Byron Katie. I probably actually recommend this second book first. So read this one first and then read Letting Go. These 2 goddamn books are the perfect books at working through basically these like negative, like limiting beliefs or these thoughts about yourself. They both help you like let go of them and process them and work through them. Again, I'm not telling you like, just stop thinking that, bro. No, that doesn't help. You need to like process it, work through it, let it go, all that kind of shit. So this is really important work. There's a reason that I'm pushing you guys to do this. It's ultra, ultra, ultra important. We'll read out maybe one more. Where's the guy that I said at the top? Yeah, this guy was great. This was my favorite one to read. So this guy, not Andy, says, I just did the mirror exercise. At first, I was really uncomfortable saying I love you. I inched towards it with weaker versions. I like you, and you are likable. Good, great job. That's sometimes what you have to do. I was looking myself in the eyes for maybe 30 seconds in complete silence before I could actually say, I love you. I smiled. I realized that's the first time I've heard those words in my mother tongue. You'd think that would make me sad, but I couldn't help but grin from ear to ear. I repeated the phrase a few more times, and my smile just grew bigger. I think I do love myself. Thank you for making me realize that, Andy. So this is my favorite one to read out. This one really made me smile. This one actually affected me a bit. I was really fucking happy to read this. And this is what will happen sometimes. Like, you'll say it, you'll go through it. It's rare that people have this reaction. Most people have the kind of freak out reaction of like all the shit coming up, and they process that. But every now and then someone will do this and they'll have this reaction and they'll go like, fuck, I never realized I love myself. Jesus Christ. And like everything changes from that point. Like everything changes. Everything changes. You put more effort in when you go outside and talk to girls. You will try harder with your business. You will push harder in the gym because you'll be like, I love myself. I want to build an amazing body. You won't self-sabotage. You won't quit when things get hard because you're like, I love myself. Why would I quit? Quitting would just hurt myself. You start seeing things in terms of like, is this thing I'm about to do in line with loving myself? Like, will it help me love myself more? Or will it make me love myself less? Like, another way of phrasing that is this thing I'm going to do going to help me or is it going to hurt me? Am I loving myself or am I hurting myself? And you will start framing things in that way. And everything you do, or most things you do, you'll go, I don't want to smoke weed because that's hurting myself. Okay, I won't. I want to go to the gym and bust my ass, even though it's hard, because I love myself and it will be good for me, and I want that. Yeah, it's scary to go outside and talk to girls, but I want to do that because I love myself, and that will help me love myself even more. That's a loving action that I can do towards myself, and you'll find you self-sabotage a hell of a lot less. You put in a hell of a lot more effort. You don't quit. Shit doesn't take any fucking willpower anymore. You literally don't need willpower because you're like, I love myself. I want to go to the gym and love myself more. You just go to the gym, you have a great time, you meditate, you chill, you fucking do all the reps, and you go home, you're like, yeah, that was cool. Rather than this feeling of like, I'm weak, I'm pathetic, I have to go to the gym, fuck me, why am I so fucking lazy and pathetic? I gotta go, I gotta go talk to fucking girls, why am I like this? You're just coming from this place of like calm and peace. And the further or the closer you get to that feeling of peace, of stoicism, of loving yourself, of just being fucking okay and not hating yourself, not beating up on yourself, the closer you get to that or the further along you go in that journey, you find you just have so much more fucking energy. Stuff doesn't take willpower. You have so much more to give. You achieve so much more because it's not taking this big, amount of energy and willpower. You just do it. You don't smoke weed because it would hurt you. You stop eating Doritos and junk food because it would hurt you. You go to the gym because it's loving yourself. You wake up on time because it's good for you. You go to bed early and get plenty of sleep because it would be weird not to. You wouldn't be loving yourself if you stayed up all night. You stop looking at porn. If you have a porn addiction or whatever, you're like, I'm going to quit this because I love myself. I don't want to keep hurting myself. So work on doing this exercise. I know it's difficult. Another thing you can do is, and I give this to some of my coaching clients, write out a big list. Like if you struggle with this and you try and do it and you can't do it, or you do it but like a lot of shit comes up, write out a big list of like 50 different like dot points of things that are likable about yourself, and get friends and family to help you. Like go up to them and say, hey, or send them a text. What is likable about me? Don't say, what do you like about me? Because they'll say like, subjective things. You want it kind of objective. So say, what is likable about me? Or what would people like about me? What qualities are likable about me? And write a list of 50 things and look at that every couple of days. That helps you fucking like yourself. And you go, maybe I'm not such a piece of shit after all. No matter where you are, there are 50 things that are likable about yourself. Literally all of us have 50 things, at least 50 things that are likable. Do that. Do this mirror exercise. If you want coaching after all of this, there we go, big boy. If you want coaching after all this, I'm happy to, go through all this sort of shit. Like I said, I go through with most of my coaching clients and talk them through this mirror thing and what comes up, and we process all of that sort of shit. I also get them to do the 50 things that are likable about themselves. I'll leave a link in the description below to the coaching. We got some guys in there that are kicking ass right now. You can join them. This as well, this beautiful book, How to Have a Threesome. It's not an actual book. I said this on a different fucking video. It's actually just a different book, and we printed out like a fake copy, a fake cover. But it is an ebook and a video course. I can't link to it on YouTube because YouTube are a bunch of cucks, and I linked to it before, and they said, no, that's sexual content. You've got a fucking community guidelines strike. Now, if you do it 3 times, we're going to delete your channel, because YouTube literally are cucks. So I can't link to the book, but you can go to my website, and it's like I've got a button up there. So just click that, how to have threesomes. Buy the book and the video course. It's fucking sick. I put so much effort into it. Coaching there as well. Go try this mirror exercise, guys. I'm dead serious about this. It's legitimately life-changing. It might take you a month, like I said. The first time you do it, like maybe nothing happens. You say it, you feel nothing. That happens sometimes. Keep doing it for a month. I promise you will be surprised at the changes. You will be mind-blown at the changes. As always, go out there. What do you guys need to do? You guys know. You got to crush those goddamn goals.